Hello everyone. Today's training is going to cover how to complete a form for the HHA external staff. So to begin, we will log into our AlayaCare app with our credentials. We will find our schedule. Go ahead and click on your schedule. And it will bring you up to your patient chart. We're going to go ahead and clock in by touching the green clock. Complete your COVID questionnaire. And please remember that if you are experiencing any of the following symptoms that are presented on this questionnaire, or if you meet any of the criteria, that you notify your offices prior to reporting to the patient's home and filling this out so that we can take the next steps there. We'll go ahead and submit. Okay, so this is telling me that I'm not in the location. For training purposes, I'm going to say okay, clock me in anyway. Okay, so now I'm clocked in. So as we discussed previously in the previous training, we have our overview tab, we have our care plan. It outlines our patient's care plan. This is the plan of care that we follow. Just to take you through it quickly, all the interventions. So as I said in the previous training, this kind of gives you a complete picture of the patient's entire plan of care, even if there are things that you may not do specifically on your shift. We have our service tasks here, which we did go over in our previous training. And then this takes us to form history. So for form history, when you click on form history, in order to fill out a form, you're going to go to the very bottom right-hand corner. You'll see a blue little circle here with a plus sign in the middle. We're going to click on that plus sign. And it's going to bring us a drop down of all the forms that we as a home health aide are going to possibly need to fill out and complete. For your prospective states, you'll use, your Georgia. If you're a Georgia home health aide, you'll use the Georgia complaint forms. If you're from PA, you'll use the one labeled PA. Otherwise, unless it specifically states state next to it, then the remaining are interchangeable, used for both PA and Georgia. So you have your change of address form, change of availability, your comment and complaint forms used for externals only, so that would be you guys. Your narrative incident report, that would be for you guys, so that is essentially your statement. If there is an incident or something happens, a comment and complaint form would be filled out, and then you would fill out the narrative incident report with your specific statement. And then you would have the seizure log, and then a transport waiver, which is specific to PA. So for training purposes, we'll complete a seizure log. So some of you may care for a patient that does have seizures. So you would essentially just be doing the basic monitoring of your patient. You're watching them one-on-one with them. So you would just fill this form out if they have a seizure, indicating when it started, when it ended, describe what the patient was doing, what precautions were maintained, and any specific interventions that you performed, and then you would sign it. So we'll fill this out. Date of seizure, we'll say the patient had one today. We'll say that it started at 10:38 and it went until 10:40. description of seizure activity. So we can say patient had mild so you would just kind of describe where the patient was, what they were doing, kind of all of those pieces there. Be, descriptive as possible. What seizure, were the seizure precautions maintained? Yes. If they're under seizure precautions, that'll also be outlined in the plan of care as well too. And then any interventions, so you can say that you perhaps turned patient on one side, be very descriptive about what you did. Any additional interventions, you turn the patient on the left side, you may have, whatever else you did, that you reported this to mom, maybe you reported this to your supervisor. So that would be where you would describe all the steps that you took. And then your signature, then this is where you're going to sign. Here, click done, and then you're going to submit. So we successfully submitted this form. Your clinical supervisor will be able to read that. And there you go. So the form is completed. So like I said, in order to fill out a form, you're going to go over to the Forms tab. You're going to go to the very bottom right hand corner, click that plus sign, and then select the form that you intend on filling out and completing. And then complete the form and click submit. And that is how you complete a form as a home health aide for your patient. All right.